Okay, today we'll be taking a look at Parrot OS. And so once you boot it up, this is what you'll be greeted with. And as you can see here, it has options for the keyboard layout, so we'll just go with that. And then for the desktop items, we have the home folder, network, and then there's the README license. So that's that. So this is also featuring the Mate, if that's how you pronounce it, desktop environment, which honestly, looking at it right here, apart from the icons, I'd say reminds me a lot of XFCE. But here at the top, so there's two panels. So here at the top we have Firefox for the web browser, the terminal, and Pluma, so text editor. So we'll take a look at that as well. So here it is. Okay. And this is the terminal by default, has some transparency effects, has some pretty cool color scheme here. Let's see if it has screen fetch. Oh. Guess not. Okay. So at the top you have a system monitor, which is pretty nice. So as of right now, it's taking up almost 800 megabytes of RAM just by not really doing anything. But keep in mind that this is on a virtual machine, so this isn't really a fair test. Plus, I gave it 8 gigabytes of RAM, so yeah. So it's using 776 megabytes. And then to the right, where the system tray is, we have the audio, network connections, and then the date, which if you go to preferences, you could change whatever you want. So let's just make it like that. This is how I tend to like it. Okay, and then you have applications, which we'll be taking a look at all of them, places, and system. And here at the bottom you have quick access for different workspaces. So automatic sleep, I don't know what that is. Probably not gonna touch it, not to ruin anything. And so this is just a menu, which pretty much does the same thing as applications, but what it has more is the search bar, and on top of that you can also choose to log out or shut down the computer and whatnot. So yeah, so first let's take a look at places, because it's the most simple, it's the shortest. So here you just have some quick access to your files and whatnot, folders. Also keep in mind that this is the home edition. I forgot to mention that. Probably gonna mention it in the description or in the title. But yeah, so this isn't the one dedicated for hacking. This is a bit more casual, I guess. More broad approach. So this is a specific search tool. So if you want to find a specific file, then this is pretty neat. Let's take a look at systems. So there's preferences, hardware. Okay, so these are just settings, you know, for your display. You can set the resolution and whatnot. Not gonna go really into detail with these settings, because you know, pretty sure you guys have seen most of them. But this is how you can adjust your mouse sensitivity and whatnot. So just basic, you know, hardware related settings, pretty nice. Internet settings, which you can just right click on that to access it. Look and feel, let's take a look at this. So what I'm using right now is the default look, but you have a couple of built-in themes, which is pretty nice. Alright, I think I'm trying to set this option here, but it's not working. Okay, so apparently I already was using that. So honestly, there's some pretty interesting themes here. The one that I'm probably going to go with is, I guess, just this one. So for the wallpapers, so you have a decent amount of wallpapers. Like usual, I probably won't be taking a look at all of them, to save time. That's pretty creative. But, it has some pretty decent wallpapers here. It's got a Minecraft wallpaper. Let's take a look at this one. This one's pretty nice. And so is that one. So for this video, we'll just stick with this wallpaper. And then fonts, I usually never mess with that, but you have the font settings if you want to change that. And then interface, you could just toggle icons on and off in the menus. Let's take a look at the Mate tweak. So you can hide the desktop icons to kind of make everything look more minimalistic and whatnot. So for the panel, if you don't like the way the panel is, this is pretty nice because you can, get rid of some of these settings if you, find them to be unnecessary and whatnot. Also, if you're using a bit older hardware, you could disable the animations. It's pretty nice. So it's got its fair share of customization as well. There's screensaver, window properties. You got some settings here. And then for other, there is this. Okay, so this is the keyboard layout. So if you ever need to change it, then you have that option, which is pretty nice. And then for personal, there's so this is pretty nice actually. Startup applications and preferred applications, the default ones. For example, if you replace Firefox with a different browser, that's pretty nice. And also for startup applications, for example, like Redshift, if you use that, that's pretty nice. And then you can just add a custom user photo and change the username. And also your password through here. Okay. And again, you have your user settings. It's using the Synaptic Package Manager. So here you can install a lot of, let's see how to, there we go, resize it. You can install a lot of packages. Usually if I don't have the Breeze cursor theme, I just type in Breeze here and I'm able to find it, there we go, and install it, which is pretty nice. And so there's the control center. So this is basically everything you took a look at here, all in one. All the settings. Settings related to hardware, settings related to internet, to customization. Everything is basically here. So if you kind of want things in categories, if you find this to be more organized, you can do that. Or for, I guess, quicker access. And you also have like a filter here. So if you want to access the mouse, you can easily access the mouse settings. So far this is very good, very efficient, in my opinion. I like how you have everything. So the Mate desktop environment 1.20.3. Assuming this is the latest version. And then this is pretty nice. You can just shut down, log off, and whatnot. So, which is kind of makes me wonder what the point of this panel is, because, like I said, you have all of your applications here, and you can, you have some settings, like you can access the settings, and you have the options to log out and shut down and whatnot. But again, what's the point if you have everything here, which does the same thing? It's just they're separate. And also Workspaces, never really been a fan of Workspaces, but I'm pretty sure you could just add to panel. Let's see, Workspace switcher, there we go. If you want, just do that. And also, I don't know what this setting is, but if you want to remove the panel, it's really easy, just do that. There you go, you have your Workspaces here as well. Okay, so that's that for places and system. Let's open up the browser real quick. So its default browser is Firefox. Okay, I had to cut that part off because at the start page it showed some kind of IP. I don't know if it was mine or not, but yeah, I'd rather cut that part out. So, but yeah, so you can of course adjust it to the way you want. Let's just straight up remove that tab. The cool thing that I want to mention is right here at the top you have Adblock installed, and let me pull it up. Okay, so by default you have uBlock, which is pretty nice. So again, this is security based and whatnot, so a lot of security features. So there's the privacy badger. I've used this. From my personal experience, it didn't really help, didn't really do much, but you have that, and then you have something to disable scripts and whatnot. So this is pretty neat in my opinion. Alright, so let's take a look at the application. So for accessories you have Atom, which is a really nice text editor for programming and whatnot. I'm actually taking a C++ course this semester, so this is actually what I use to program. Yeah, Compton for the effects and whatnot. Got calculator, search tool. I'm assuming it's just an ordinary text editor. Never really used it. You have Redshift, which is pretty nice. Let's see if it's gonna work. Let's see if it's gonna work, because sometimes it doesn't always want to work for some reason. You have to like change your config for some reason to let it to work. And then you have Vim, something which a lot of people hate. Well, not necessarily hate, but you know what I mean. So this, I honestly have Alright, I have no idea what that did, so I'm not really going to mess with it. If you do know, do write in the comments, that would be interesting. So for cryptography, you have some tools here. For education, you have LibreOffice Math, which I'm assuming that you probably have the... Alright, so I'm assuming it has the whole suite, however it's pronounced. So for games, you have export, some simple chess. It's pretty nice. I actually really like chess. For graphics, you have image viewer, you know, to view basic pictures and whatnot. GIMP for photo editing. You know, it's for a distro like this, it's not really necessary, but I'm sure a lot of people like to edit stuff, you know. So okay, so let's take a look here. So you only have Firefox. Oh, and you actually also have the Tor browser. Okay, so it's installing it. So I'm not. Well, it's already installed, but I'm not going to access it. But yeah, you have definitely some privacy options here. Some BitTorrent client, Thunderbird for your mail. So this is honestly, and there we go. Office, it has everything installed. So if you want, like Writer, for example, so this is very good actually. You know, I really like how this can appeal to basically everyone, because it has all your basic needs, and on top of that, it's security like focused, security centered, privacy centered. So that's always a plus. For programming, again, you have Atom, and you also have Genie. So you have a bunch of text editors. I would have preferred if maybe there was like Sublime as well. I really like Sublime text editor, but yeah. So for multimedia, you have VLC. Alright, sorry for sorry that the video keeps cutting off, but yeah. So For multimedia, you have VLC, rhythm box for your music player, and then you have your sound settings. Then for the system tools, so you have the installation, terminal, access terminal as root instead of typing in the command and whatnot. Gparted for partitioning, package installer, Kaya. Okay, so I'm assuming that's the file manager. Deconf editor, pretty nice to edit a lot of system options and whatnot. And then universal access, which you have in on-screen keyboard here, which I honestly have no idea how to remove. Usually it's Alt F4. No, I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I think it's a pretty nice distro. It definitely appeals to a lot of users, and I really like how it's privacy and security focused and whatnot. So honestly, I'm actually considering this distro. Like, I already have chosen which distro to use, but I'm definitely considering checking this out further. So yeah, definitely would recommend this distro. So thanks for watching and have a good one.